What a joke the UN has become. The United Nations was founded with the lofty promise of protecting international law, human rights, and global peace. Its charter, drafted in 1945, is clear and concise. All nations must respect one another's sovereignty, resolve conflicts peacefully, and never resort to threats or use of force except in self-defense or when authorized by the UN itself. Yet decades later we must ask, what a joke the UN has become. Its most powerful members, particularly the United States and Israel, routinely trample the very rules they once agreed to uphold. The UN's most sacred principles, peaceful settlement of disputes, respect for sovereignty, and the prohibition of the use of force, have been ignored, bypassed, or violated time and time again. Israel's record of violations. Israel stands as a glaring example of this double standard. UNSC Resolution 242, 1967, demanded withdrawal from territories occupied in the Six-Day War. Resolution 338, 1973, reiterated the need for peace talks and withdrawal. Resolution 446, 1979, declared Israeli settlements illegal. Resolution 478, 1980, condemned its annexation of East Jerusalem. Resolution 497, 1981, ruled the annexation of the Syrian Golan Heights null and void. And most recently, Resolution 2334, 2016, called on Israel to halt its settlement expansion entirely. Yet decades later, these lands remain occupied, settlements keep expanding, and Palestinians continue to live under siege, all while the UN can do little more than issue toothless condemnations. U.S. disregard for the UN. The United States, which loves to tout its commitment to international law, has itself shattered the UN's credibility. The U.S. ignored the ICJ ruling and UN General Assembly resolutions on Nicaragua, 1986, that condemned its illegal support of Contra rebels. It led the 2003 invasion of Iraq without UN Security Council authorization, violating the core prohibition on use of force. It unilaterally recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital and recognized the annexation of the Golan Heights, directly contradicting UNSC Resolution 497. It continually wields its Security Council veto to shield Israel from consequences, rendering the entire system fundamentally hypocritical. The UN's toothless response. And what does the UN do? Issue resolutions and stern statements. Watch helplessly as its most powerful members pick and choose which international laws they want to respect. Fail to enforce its own decisions because the countries in question sit on the Security Council. The result? The UN Charter, a solemn pact to protect humanity, has been turned into a hollow formality. The most powerful states use the UN as a political shield when it suits them, then discard it the moment it stands in their way. A flawed and fading ideal. 78 years after its founding, the United Nations is looking less like a guardian of world order and more like a symbol of selective justice. The U.S. and Israel's actions, from endless occupations and unilateral invasions to settlements and ignored UN resolutions, have made one thing abundantly clear. Might is right and the rules don't apply to the powerful. The UN must change or its grand principles will forever remain a joke, and so will the world that follows its lead.